welcome back to my channel. Hope you've all had a wonderful day. Today's video is my TBR video for May. So I have the Bronte box. We are going to choose 8 prompts like we normally would out of the box to help me choose books off of my shelves to complete my TBR. Now, last month's TBR just was really uninspiring for me. You'll hear more about it in the April wrap up. But based on that and my feelings through the month of April's reading, if that makes sense, I am going to try and fit the prompts to something that I am interested in much more. So I'm going to look at what are on my shelves a little bit more in depth. Obviously you guys won't see me faffing around with which book I'm going to choose. But for me, it's just going to be a bit of a longer process rather than just taking a prompt for what it is exactly. I mean, depending on what it is, it might change it up slightly. If it's like a book with a green cover, then obviously I'm going to choose a green cover. But yeah, we're going to wing it. We're going to see what happens. I really want to be inspired by this month's TBR, and I really want to pick books that I know I definitely want to read. Yeah, let's get into it. So we got the Bronte box. We are going to pick our first prompt. We got a pink one. I bet you anything it's so-and-so chooses a book for you. Oh no, it's a thriller / suspense book of your choice. Probably, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. But I was actually planning on picking out a thriller to kind of assist with my TBR. So I'm going to do that and I will be back in a moment. Okay, I found a thriller. I have gone for Frozen Charlotte, you know, by Alex Bell. I picked this book up maybe last month or the month before from my local book swap tent. And yes, basically it is about a school for girls that's been converted into a family home. Sophie arrives at the old schoolhouse to spend the summer with her cousins, who are all a little bit odd. And basically the bottom bit just says, the girl with a room full of antique dolls, the girl that shouldn't be there, the girl that died, who is her cousin's older sibling, I assume. But it does say on the back, warning, not for younger readers. So yeah, I'm excited about this one. I picked it up and I thought, oh, that sounds really, really interesting. I hope it's gripping enough to keep me interested. I am coming out, or I'm in a bit of a slump, let's put it that way. Again, you'll hear more about it in the wrap up. But I'm hoping that this one will be interesting enough to kind of keep me locked in and drawn into the story. I mean, the font is quite large. It's not, you know, itty bitty font that you have to really concentrate on. But I am hoping it is going to be a really, really exciting read. So, fingers crossed. But yeah, so there is a thriller / suspense book of your choice. Let's pop it up here. Okay, let's get back into the box. Da-da-da. Oh, we've got lots. We're going to go for this top yellow one. Okay. We have a book you've been saving. Okay, so this one should be fairly easy to choose. I have quite a few books I've been saving. So I'm going to go and pick one that doesn't affect any series or anything like that. And yeah, we're going to grab one I've been saving. Okay, so I found one and it was actually a lot easier to choose than I thought it would be. But I picked Last Orders at the Star and Sixpence by Holly Hepburn. I read the first book, A Year at the Star and Sixpence, last year, and I absolutely devoured it. I really enjoyed it. So when I found out there was a sequel, I knew I had to get my hands on it, but I was saving it for like a nice sunny day to sit in the garden and read. But I think it's time we pulled this one out and just read it, because I want a book I know I'm going to enjoy. So in the first book, we follow Sam and Nessie, who move away from London to escape different things that are going on in their lives, and they have a year to make the Start and Sixpence pub work for them. So in the second book, they're obviously having their own relationships with boyfriends, and someone unexpected in the village turns up and rocks the boat. So I'm excited to get into this, figure out who the person is that enters into the village, and be back in this world, because I loved it, and it's just one I can't wait to read. So yes, there is that, a book you've been saving. I also have a buddy read that I'm doing with Nikki. We have finished the 3 books in the Soul Screamers series that we both own. We both own them separately. Well, we both own the full series on Kindle, but we're going to go on to buddy reading other books. So we are buddy reading Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. This is my favourite classic of all time. I finally got my hands on the cover that I had when I was younger. It's this beautiful one with the burning candle on it. It is in slightly... It's not in the best nick, but I wanted a copy that I had when I was younger, and I've got it, and that's fine by me. So Nikki has never read Jane Eyre, and I am excited to buddy read it with her. It's definitely my favourite gothic fiction, or gothic classic. Yeah, I'm excited to read this one. So I am still going to pick another 6 books from the TBR box, but this one is just an addition that we will... well, an addition as opposed to an edition that we're going to be reading together. So there is that one. Let's pick another one out of the box. I got this yellow one. Let's open it up and see. Start a new series. Okay, I actually have the perfect book for this. I was planning on putting off starting the series a little bit longer because I have some... well, I have quite a few series on the go, but it is one I'd been putting off starting until I'd kind of finished another series, but we've been given the prompt to start a new series, so we're going to start one. Bear with me. Okay, so I've picked the first book to start my new series. We have an appearance from Lynx, who was very helpful in choosing. He is on the correct shelf for the book I wanted. So I have picked Knife by R.J. Anderson. I love the cover on this. It's all sparkly, but basically Knife is a trilogy about fairies. So it just says that Knife woke in a cold sweat, the torn edge of her wing sizzling with pain. How long as she lain unconscious, her worst fears had come to pass. She was trapped, flightless, a prisoner. The humans had put her in a box, and now they had come to torment her. So I love anything that is fairy based. And I'd picked up Knife years ago in a charity shop, and very recently got the second and third book. Where are they? They might be up here actually. Yes, Rebel and Arrow. And I'd been... he wasn't on the right shelf. But I'd been kind of putting off reading it until I'd got the rest of the series, so I'm hoping it's a good one. But yeah, this has been here a long time, so I'm very excited to start this trilogy. So there is that one. I think I have like cat hairs everywhere. He molts so much, even though he is like quite a short-haired cat. He just seems to molt all the time. We're going for this green one. So we have a book with a number in the title. I actually don't know if I have any of these, but I'm going to go and investigate and see what I can find. So I actually had a couple, actually looking at the shelf, I had a couple, but the one I've gone for is 8 Ghosts by the English Heritage people. And basically, English Heritage reached out to 8 authors, and gave them the opportunity to choose any English Heritage site and write a ghost story based on that site. So if you're not from the UK, English Heritage is basically a charity that, I believe it's a charity, or it's a foundation, it's something along those lines, that looks after all the castles, forts, just all old historical buildings to help keep their heritage alive, basically, and to teach us things about those sites that we may not have known. So my mum and dad are both members of the English Heritage, which means that they can go and visit different English heritage sites for free. And I have been to a fair few myself, so when I saw this at my local book swap tent, I picked it up because I thought I really enjoy going to these sites and learning different things about the castles, learning about the different people that lived in them. So yeah, there are 8 ghost stories in here. It's a pretty small book, so I'm probably just going to read the whole thing. Where are we? Yeah, it's 158 pages. There's some afterwords that talk about the different sites. So I'll probably read that as well. So all in all, it is 209 pages. What is he doing? What are you doing? There's too many plants in here. I think that's the issue. But yeah, so I'm going to try and read all of this. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I love a ghost story. Although I won't be reading it at night time because I'm a huge wimp. But yes, we have another book. So let's go back in. We will choose book number 5. I got a yellow one. I want the yellow one. So we have got Mood Read Choice. Okay, so a mood read choice is one that I just kind of pick off the cuff, off my shelf when I feel like it. So I'm not going to choose that book now, but I am going to leave this little post-it note up here to remind me that I have a book to read that is a mood read choice, if that makes sense. Mood read choice. So yeah, let's go back in and choose another one. I think a mood read choice is pretty good for me at the minute. As I said earlier on, I am in a bit of a slump. So being able to just choose a book that I fancy when I feel like it is going to be really helpful. I picked this pink one, and it is Friend Chooses a Book for You. Now, I'd already preempted this one, and I messaged my friend Abby and asked her if she could choose a book off my shelves for me to read. So I sent her a load of pictures, and I'm just going to grab the book that she chose. Now, she threw me a bit of a wobbler with this pick because she knows I'm not a fan and that we have a very difficult relationship. She picked a Cecilia Ahern, so I only have 2 of these left on my shelf now. And Abby, bless her, knows that me and Cecilia have a bit of a heated relationship, and that I can't figure out whether I actually enjoy her books or I actually really don't like them at all. So she has picked Lyra Bird for me. This is about a girl whose father passes away, and she basically, she can sing. She can sing, and she meets a man in the woods called Solomon, who is going to help her seek this new life. And yeah, basically it's about Solomon trying to set her free rather than people keeping her in a cage. It's a bit of a weird synopsis, let's put it that way. But it was one of hers that sounded a little bit different than the everyday run-of-the-mill life stories that Cecilia does. So yes, Abby picked Lyra Bird. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go. It's probably the book so far on my TBR that I'm not excited about, and I was really hoping this prompt didn't come up. But I preempted it so that I could actually show you the book in real time. So yes, we have Lyra Bird by Cecilia Ahern. Okay, so how many books left to pick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more books. 2 more. Next time we're going to do like Cat chooses your book, and I'll put like 3 books on the floor and maybe put like a little dreamy treat on top and let him pick the one he wants. A book that you have been putting off reading. Now I'm going to try and pick one that I haven't been putting off for a negative sense, but for maybe like a positive I've been putting it off because I wanted to save it, a little bit like the other one. I'm going to try and pick a book that's not going to be picked because I've been putting it off in a negative way, because I really don't think that's going to help the slump. So yes, I'm going to pick this and I'll be back. I've moved the camera so that he can be in shot. Say hi. He's so grumpy. Right, so I have picked Evil Thing by Serena Valentino. I don't know why I even needed to look. But I have been putting off the Disney ones purely because I really can't decide how I feel about them. They're one of those ones that is a little bit like, I'm enjoying it, but I'm also kind of not, if that makes sense. So this is obviously Cruella de Vil's story, and it just says, nothing is as simple as black and white. You might think that you know the tale of Cruella de Vil, that scene stealer, that monster, that evil thing, but think again. Before the car crash, the dog napping, and the love affairs, there was another story. Another Cruella told in her own words. This is a story of friendship, love and loss, mothers and daughters, and revenge. So this is one of all the Disney Twisted Tales that I own. Oh, this isn't a Twisted Tale, is it? This is the Villains series, my bad. But yeah, I've been putting off the Twisted Tales and the Villains books for some time, just because I really can't decide how I feel about them. But yes, I'm going to read this one on Cruella de Vil. I'm feeling okay about it, to be fair. It's not entirely negative, it's just one of those ones where I'm not really sure how I'm going to feel about it, so I'll leave them. But for this prompt, I'm going to pick it. And it's not a long one. It is 292 pages-ish, give or take. I was going to pick The Mistress of All Evil, which is, I believe, the Maleficent one, and I do love the Maleficent films with Angelina Jolie. But yes, we have gone for Cruella de Vil. Right, last one then. Last prompt. Oh, there was one stuck right at the bottom of the box. In the box flap. It is green. So, what do you think? You want to read it and tell everyone? He's like, please stop talking to me. We are going for a book of your choice. This TBR has been very, very kind to me. So I'm going to have a little look, see what I can find, and yeah, just grab a random book that I fancy. Okay, so I have picked the final book, and I have gone for Rosemary and Thymes and No Birds Sing by Brian Eastman. I love the TV series. I friggin' love the TV series. So I had to get the books. They were super expensive and they were really hard to get a hold of. And I found the first one in a charity shop years ago. So I had to get a hold of the other two. But the first one I read was The Memory of Water, which is actually the third book, helpfully. So this is the first book, and No Birds Sing. And it just says, meet Laura Time and Rosemary Boxer, two women who come together in the midst of life-changing crisis to help each other to embark on a new life. When Laura Time discovers that her husband has left her, she travels straight to the house of her best friends, Sam and Vicky Trent, for some much-needed sympathy. Meanwhile, Rosemary Boxer, who is having man trouble of a different variety, is invited to visit Daniel Kellaway, an ex-student of hers, at his country house. Winterbourne Manor is beautiful, with breathtaking gardens. Daniel, who is confined to a bed with a curious undiagnosed and debilitating skin rash, has to rely on Sam to keep their highly successful garden centre business going. But after a fatal car crash followed by further puzzling accidents, the women's noses for trouble start twitching. Rosemary's horticultural knowledge, combined with Laura's former police background, aid the pair in the search for the truth. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. I love the TV series so much. So much so that I might actually nip over and see my mum and dad later to pick up the series. So yeah, that is the final book I am choosing. As I said, we still have a mood read choice up here that I am going to give a go later, probably halfway through the month. and then I'll just update you on it in the TBR or the wrap-up video. But yes, we have, let me move them. Ooh. We have our books, and I'm super excited. I'm going to turn it this way though for the thumbnail. Smile. Smile at the camera. He hates me. But yes, so we have our books. We have a book of your choice, which is Rosemary and Thyme and No Birds Sing. We have a book you've been putting off reading, which is Evil Thing by Serena Valentino. I realise the post-it notes are on and you can't really see the covers. Friend chooses a book for you. Cecilia Arahan's Lyra Bird. Super excited. A book with a number in the title, 8 Ghosts by the English Heritage Gang. Start a new series, Knife by R.J. Anderson. Jane Eyre, which is my buddy read. A book you've been saving, which is Last Orders at the Start and Sixpence by Holly Hepburn. And then a thriller / suspense book of your choice, Frozen Charlotte by Alex Bell. So yeah, there's the books. I'm actually really excited about this month's TBR, can you tell? I can't wait to get started. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. What books have you been reading recently or loving? Have you read any of these? If you have, let me know without spoilers in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's everything for me. Don't forget to check out my wrap-up video, which will be coming in a week's time, I believe. Yeah, probably in a week's time. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fun things to come. And yeah, we will see you later.